What if I told you there's a single food, something so small it fits in the palm of your hand, that has more protein per gram than eggs, that gold standard of nutrition? And what if this tiny powerhouse could slow and even reverse one of the most frustrating parts of aging, the gradual loss of muscle, strength, and mobility that so many people assume is inevitable after 60? Sarcopenia, this age-related muscle loss, doesn't just make climbing stairs harder or carrying groceries exhausting. It's one of the strongest predictors of falls, fractures, and even premature mortality. In fact, research published in the journal Age and Aging shows that low muscle mass and strength can shorten lifespan just as much as chronic diseases like diabetes or heart failure. The reason muscle isn't just for movement, it's a metabolic engine. It regulates blood sugar, supports your immune system, and even protects your brain. When you lose muscle, you lose resilience across your entire body, but here's the good news. Decades of research in nutritional science and muscle physiology now tell us that sarcopenia is not an inevitable fate. In fact, certain foods combined with the right timing and habits can send a powerful signal to your body to preserve and rebuild lean tissue, even well into your 70s and beyond. And one of the most surprising science-backed muscle-preserving foods isn't steak, chicken, or fish. It's a seed. Today, we'll explore why this humble seed outperforms eggs in protein density, how it delivers the amino acids your body craves for muscle repair, and why it's rich in unique compounds that fight inflammation and oxidative stress, two silent drivers of muscle breakdown. You'll also learn the exact way to eat it for maximum benefit, how often to include it in your diet, and how it can work synergistically with simple daily movement to build strength faster than you thought possible. By the end of this talk, you'll not only understand the science behind reversing muscle loss, you'll have a practical step-by-step plan you can start today. Key points outlined here assess what we still uncover step by step. The hidden muscle building potential of this seed, and why it rivals and even surpasses eggs and protein density. We'll look at its amino acid profile, how it supports muscle repair, and why plant-based proteins can sometimes be more efficient than animal sources when paired with the right nutrients. The critical link between inflammation, oxidative stress, and sarcopenia, and how this seed, uniquely the surprising seed that beats eggs in protein density, reduces both. Research shows chronic inflammation accelerates muscle breakdown. And this food contains potent bioactive compounds that help protect your muscle cells. How your body's ability to synthesize and maintain muscle changes after 50, and how the timing of protein intake can flip the switch back on. We'll dive into muscle protein synthesis and how this seed triggers it, especially in older adults whose anabolic response is weaker. The metabolic advantages of adding this seed to your diet, stabilizing blood sugar, improving insulin sensitivity, and preserving lean mass. Because maintaining stable energy levels is crucial for staying active, which directly prevents muscle decline. A simple daily protocol for maximizing its benefits, exact amounts, the best way to prepare it, and the ideal time of day to consume it for muscle recovery. Think of this as your muscle-preserving meal blueprint. How combining this food with minimal strategic movement creates a powerful synergy for reversing sarcopenia, even if you've been sedentary for years. I'll give you a realistic, doable approach that doesn't require a gym, but still delivers visible strength gains. By the end, you'll see why this seed is a silent superfood for longevity and strength, and how small daily actions can change the trajectory of your health, even at 70 or 80. Part 1. The hidden muscle building potential of this seed. Let's start with a simple question. When you think of high-quality protein, what comes to mind? Most people immediately say eggs, and for good reason. Eggs are considered a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to grow and repair. But here's what might surprise you. There's a tiny seed that not only matches this amino acid balance, but actually packs more protein per gram than an egg. That seed is the hemp seed. Just 3 tablespoons contain nearly 10 grams of complete protein, along with an ideal ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats that reduce inflammation, something eggs alone can't do. Compare that to a single boiled egg, which has about 6 g of protein. Gram for gram, hemp seeds deliver a denser, more bioavailable protein source, plus other nutrients that directly support muscle tissue. Now, why does this matter so much after 50? As we age, our bodies undergo what researchers call anabolic resistance. In plain language, this means your muscles don't respond to protein the way they used to. You could eat the same meal you did at 30, but your muscles now absorb and use less of those amino acids for repair. That's why seniors often need more protein, both in quality and quantity, to trigger the same muscle-building signals. Hemp seeds shine here because they contain destined protein, which is exceptionally easy for the body to digest. Studies published in Frontiers in Nutrition show that highly digestible plant proteins like this can actually stimulate muscle protein synthesis. That's the biological process of repairing and building muscle fibers just as effectively as traditional animal proteins when consumed in the right dose. And here's another advantage. Unlike many plant proteins, hemp seeds have a nearly perfect balance of branched-chain amino acids because how amino acids trigger muscle repair: leucine, isoleucine, and vein. Why is that important? Leucine in particular is like a molecular switch for muscle growth. Without enough leucine, your body can't fully activate muscle repair. Hemp seeds provide roughly 2.5 g of leucine per 100 g, putting them in the same league as whey protein, a gold standard for muscle recovery. But there's another layer of power here. Hemp seeds aren't just about protein. They also contain magnesium, zinc, and iron, 3 minerals that are essential for maintaining strong muscles and optimal energy metabolism. Magnesium helps your muscles relax and recover after movement. Zinc plays a key role in tissue repair. Iron supports oxygen delivery to muscles, preventing fatigue. This is a complete nutritional package, and it's all inside one tiny seed. Think about what that means in real life. Imagine sprinkling hemp seeds on your breakfast oatmeal, blending them into a smoothie, or even adding them to soups and salads. In just a few spoonfuls, you're giving your body the precise building blocks it needs to fight sarcopenia from multiple angles. Quality protein, anabolic triggering amino acids, anti-inflammatory fats, and supportive minerals. Have you ever noticed how older adults sometimes feel like they just can't gain muscle no matter what they eat? Often it's not just about how much protein they're getting, but how digestible and amino acid-rich that protein is. Hemp seeds check every box in that equation, especially for those who may not tolerate large amounts of meat or dairy. So, yes, the egg has been called nature's perfect protein. But for seniors fighting muscle loss, hemp seeds offer something even more strategic: a highly digestible muscle-activating anti-inflammatory protein source that supports the entire ecosystem of strength and recovery. And this is just the first piece of the puzzle, because while protein is critical, it's not the whole story. There's another silent saboteur of your muscles that this seed also helps with: inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of sarcopenia, and in the next section we'll explore exactly how it erodes muscle tissue and how hemp seeds provide a powerful defense. Part 2: How inflammation and oxidative stress drives sarcopenia, and how the seed protects your muscles. If you've ever wondered why muscles seem to melt away with age, even when your diet hasn't changed much. The answer often lies in two hidden forces silently working against you: chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Here's what the research shows. As we get older, our immune system becomes less precise and more reactive. It starts releasing a steady trickle of inflammatory molecules, cytokines, that disrupt the balance between muscle protein synthesis, building muscle, and muscle protein breakdown, losing muscle. This low-level inflammation, often called inflammation, creates an environment where your body breaks down more tissue than it repairs. Layer on top of that oxidative stress, which is like a slow rusting process inside your cells caused by an excess of free radicals. These free radicals damage the mitochondria, your muscle cells' power plants, making it harder for them to generate energy efficiently. The result: muscles become weaker, fatigue sets in faster, and recovery takes longer. Now here's where hemp seeds become more than just a protein source. They act like a nutritional shield against this cellular wear and tear. Why? Because they're rich in gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, a rare omega-6 fatty acid with potent anti-inflammatory effects. Most omega-6 fats promote inflammation, but GLA does the opposite. Clinical studies in the Journal of Inflammation Research have shown that GLA reduces inflammatory markers like TNF-alpha and IL-6, both of which are elevated in sarcopenia. Hemp seeds are also loaded with antioxidants like vitamin E and phenolic compounds. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Hidden muscle destroyers. These compounds neutralize free radicals before they can damage your muscle cells. Think of it like this. Oxidative stress is like tiny sparks flying around your body, slowly burning through your tissues. Antioxidants are the firefighters keeping the flames under control. And there's another subtle but crucial effect. By lowering inflammation, you improve insulin sensitivity. That matters because insulin isn't just about blood sugar. It's actually an anabolic hormone. When your cells are sensitive to insulin, they're better at pulling amino acids into muscle tissue, which is exactly what you want when trying to preserve strength. So, when you eat hemp seeds, you're not only giving your body the raw materials to build muscle, you're also removing two major roadblocks that break it down. It's like repairing a house while also stopping the leaks that keep damaging it. Imagine sprinkling a few tablespoons of hemp seeds on your salad. Within hours, the amino acids start circulating in your bloodstream, ready to repair tissue. At the same time, the GLA begins reducing those inflammatory signals, creating a healthier internal environment for your muscles to thrive day by day. That adds up, not just in how you feel, but in how your body functions at its core. And if you're finding this insight helpful so far, take a moment to subscribe to this channel. We share science-backed tools just like this, practical, research-driven strategies to keep your body and mind strong as you age. By subscribing, you're joining a community that believes health isn't about quick fixes. It's about sustainable, evidence-based habits that truly work. Now, here's the key. Reducing inflammation and oxidative stress sets the stage for muscle preservation, but you still need to flip the switch for muscle protein synthesis to fully activate, and that's where timing becomes critical. When you eat, your protein can make the difference between it being burned for energy or used to actually build lean mass. Now, we'll unpack exactly how your body's ability to build muscle changes after 50 and the ideal timing strategy to make this seed work even harder for you. Part D. How protein timing after funing unlocks muscle growth. Have you ever eaten a healthy protein-rich meal only to feel like it did nothing for your energy, strength, or recovery? You're not alone. After age 50, something subtle but significant changes inside your body. Your muscles become less responsive to protein intake. It's not just what you eat that matters anymore. It's when and how often. This is what researchers call anabolic resistance, a dulling of the muscle's ability to respond to the usual anabolic muscle-building signals like amino acids and insulin. Imagine trying to turn on a light, but the switch isn't as sensitive as it used to be. You need to press it harder or more strategically to get the same result. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults need about 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein per meal, not per day, to overcome this resistance and stimulate muscle protein synthesis, MPS. For comparison, younger adults might only need 20 g. Here's what's happening: hemp seeds as an anti-inflammatory powerhouse in your body. When you consume protein, especially one rich in leucine, which hemp seeds provide, it activates a molecular pathway known as mTOR. This is the master regulator for muscle growth. But if you spread your protein too thin, say 10 g at breakfast, 15 at lunch, and 50 at dinner, you miss the activation threshold in your first 2 meals. That's like trying to start an engine with too little fuel. Instead, science supports what's called a protein pulse strategy, aiming for a minimum threshold of 30 g per meal, especially at breakfast and lunch, when MPS is typically lowest in older adults. And this is where hemp seeds become incredibly useful. Just 3 to 4 tablespoons of hemp seeds give you nearly 10 g of complete protein. Add that to a serving of Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or plant-based protein smoothie in the morning, and you're hitting that anabolic threshold early, priming your body for strength and function throughout the day. But here's a key tip. Consume your protein within 30 minutes after light, resistance, or walking exercises. Why? Because muscles are more sensitive to amino acids post-activity. That's when they're most ready to soak up nutrients and start the rebuilding process. Even a brisk 15-minute walk followed by a hemp seed-rich meal can significantly amplify MPS. This strategy aligns with something called nutrient timing, long used by athletes and now proven especially valuable for older adults. The idea is simple. You're not just feeding your body, you're training it to respond to food as a recovery tool. Have you noticed that people over 60 often skip breakfast or eat carb-heavy meals like toast or cereal in the morning? It's an easy trap, but it leaves your muscles undernourished for hours. Instead, imagine starting your day with a hemp seed smoothie, maybe blended with spinach, berries, and a scoop of protein. You're fueling your brain and body with anti-inflammatory fats, muscle-supportive minerals, and the amino acids needed to stay strong, right when your body needs it most. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Strategic timing turns hemp seeds from a simple snack into a powerful longevity tool. Now, we'll explore how the same seed, thanks to its fiber, healthy fats, and blood sugar stabilizing compounds, also improves metabolic health, which plays a direct role in preventing muscle breakdown and chronic fatigue. And if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button so more people can find this kind of grounded science-based content. Part 4, The Metabolic Link, How Hemp Seeds Support Blood Sugar, Energy, and Muscle Preservation. Here's a truth many people don't realize. Maintaining muscle isn't just about lifting weights or eating more protein. It's also about creating the right metabolic environment. Because when your blood sugar and insulin levels are unstable, your body shifts into a mode that favors storing fat and breaking down muscle. Think about it. If you eat a meal heavy in refined carbs, toast, pastries, sugary cereals, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas responds by releasing a surge of insulin to bring those levels down. But in older adults, insulin sensitivity is often lower, meaning the hormone doesn't work as efficiently. Over time, these repeated spikes create a metabolic roller coaster, leading to fatigue, inflammation, and ultimately muscle breakdown. Now, here's what the critical timing window for protein intake shows. Stable blood sugar is anabolic friendly. It keeps your muscles nourished and prevents the hormonal swings that promote sarcopenia. And this is where hemp seeds quietly shine. Hemp seeds are rich in soluble and insoluble fiber, which slows the digestion of carbohydrates and prevents those sharp blood sugar spikes after a meal. They're also loaded with healthy fats, especially omega-3 and GLA, that improve insulin sensitivity. Studies in Nutrients Journal have shown that diets with these anti-inflammatory fats enhance glucose uptake by muscle cells, which is essential for both energy and recovery. And there's another piece of the puzzle. When your muscles have better insulin sensitivity, they become more effective at absorbing amino acids from the protein you eat. In other words, hemp seeds don't just provide muscle-building nutrients. They help your muscles use those nutrients more efficiently by improving the hormonal signaling that unlocks the cell's doors. Let's bring this to life with an example. Imagine two seniors. Both eat the same amount of protein in a day, but one combines it with fiber-rich blood sugar, stabilizing foods like hemp seeds, while the other eats mostly refined carbs with their protein. Over time, the first person maintains stable insulin levels, better nutrient absorption, and less inflammation. The second experiences constant metabolic stress, making it harder for their muscles to hold on to strength. Same protein intake, completely different outcomes. This is why adding hemp seeds to your meals, whether in a smoothie, sprinkled on roasted vegetables, or mixed into yogurt, has a compounding effect. They're not only giving you protein, they're also protecting the metabolic environment that determines whether that protein gets stored as lean muscle or wasted as fuel. Now here's a simple tool you can apply immediately whenever you have a carb-based meal. Add a source of protein plus fiber plus healthy fat. Hemp seeds give you all three in one. By doing this consistently, you're reducing glycemic swings, lowering inflammation, and creating a muscle-friendly state all day long. And if you're thinking, this actually makes sense, but I wish more people knew about it, do me a favor, share this video with someone who wants to stay strong as they age. The more we spread evidence-based strategies like this, the more we empower people to take back control of their health. But here's something even more fascinating. When you combine the metabolic benefits of hemp seeds with just a little bit of daily movement, the effects multiply. In the next section, we'll talk about the simplest forms of activity, no gym required, that work in synergy with this seed to actively reverse sarcopenia, even if you've been sedentary for years. Part 5, the synergy of hemp seeds plus minimal strategic movement for reversing muscle loss. Let's be clear, nutrition alone can slow muscle loss, but it can't fully reverse sarcopenia without one key signal: mechanical tension on the muscles. Your body is incredibly adaptive. If it senses you don't need strength because you're sitting most of the day, it reallocates resources elsewhere. Muscle fibers shrink. Motor units become less responsive, and over time what was once a strong, capable body becomes fragile. But here's the encouraging part. The body how to combine hemp seeds with meals for maximum benefit never stops responding to movement. Even in your 70s or 80s, the right kind of activity can switch back on the pathways for muscle growth. And it doesn't have to be extreme. Studies in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy show that even light resistance work, like using resistance bands or body weight exercises, can significantly increase muscle protein synthesis when combined with adequate protein intake. In fact, a clinical trial with seniors over 75 demonstrated that just 15 minutes of chair squats, wall push-ups, and light band exercises 3 times per week, paired with a protein-rich meal, led to measurable strength and balance improvements within 8 weeks. Here's what's happening. When you apply even mild tension to your muscles, like standing from a chair, slowly and under control, you create microscopic stress signals inside the fibers. These signals tell your body this muscle is needed. Reinforce it when you follow that signal with a meal containing leucine-rich protein like hemp seeds. You're essentially closing the loop. The stimulus plus the raw materials equals growth. Think of it like repairing a road. Movement creates the need for repair and nutrition provides the asphalt. Without movement, your body sees no reason to fix what isn't broken. But without proper nutrition, it doesn't have the materials even if it wanted to. Both pieces are essential, and together they create a synergy far greater than either alone. Now, does this mean you need a gym membership or heavy weights? Absolutely not. Here sits a simple daily muscle activation routine that takes less than 10 minutes. 5 slow chair stands. Sit in a sturdy chair. Cross and I'll leave you with one.